For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be solo backpacking through northern Vietnam.
Most beautiful place I've ever seen in Southeast Asia.
Starting in Hanoi, I'm going to be exploring the city before grabbing a motorbike and riding across rural Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam! So yeah, that's the HCM Mausoleum behind me. Behind me over there is the downed B52 in the lake here. That's not radical communism. I'm not interested in what the real thing is.
Once I'm on the road, I'm going to be stopping in at Mai Chau, Ninh Binh and Cat Ba Island in world-famous Halong Bay.
Welcome to Cat Ba Island in the daytime. It's absolutely stunning. Kayak through Halong Bay for a bit. It's so beautiful here.
It's my second time in the country, but last time I kept to the south and central regions. I only had an old GoPro back then. Nowadays I'm using a combo of a Canon G7X, a GoPro Hero 5 and my Phantom 4 drone. I only got a taste of how great Vietnam is last time, so I'm super excited to get back out there.
Just gave the drone the flight of a lifetime. B52 ejector seat. We keep finding cave upon cave upon cave, but there's no clear way back out to the entrance so far, because I just broke down a door to get out of there. Absolutely stunning. I love Vietnam, I really do.
For the next few days, I'm going to be exploring the busy, bustling city of Hanoi. The traffic here can be pretty intimidating if you've never been before, so here's my quick solution.
Okay, so in a moment we're going to do a quick one-on-one on how to cross the road in Hanoi. Generally speaking, it involves just kind of like, do not stop moving, and keep your path. Don't break concentration, just keep going. Okay, I'm going to go. You just walk slowly so they can see you and you won't crash. They won't hit you. Just like that. They're all weaving around me. I don't know if you saw that, but I just walked into all of that and look, I'm unscathed.
Keen to dive into Hanoi's history and culture, I'm going to be stopping in at various famous sites throughout the city.
What I'm about to show you is a pretty cool site. I'm just coming up on it now. That right there is a B52. So yeah, right behind me over there is the downed B52 in the lake here. So basically the entire reason why they've left it in the lake is because they are so proud of their dominance in the fact that the American air superiority of the B-52s failed against the people of Hanoi. They managed to gun down almost all of them. So yeah, they've left it here as kind of like a remnant of kind of like, we won. The thing I like about this site the most though is the fact that it's just been dropped exactly where it fell, right in the middle of this lake. They've built establishment around it since. We're at the B52 kind of Victory Museum now, so you can see all these kind of like Imperial war guns behind me, B52s and so on. So these ones here are kind of like anti-aircraft machine guns that they were shooting the B52s down with. I mean, like this one here is a 37mm cannon. I mean, look how high that up it goes. It's absolutely incredible. I really enjoy war history, particularly the Vietnam War. I find it fascinating, especially as being a Brit, because I'm like an outsider, so I think it's inherently interesting.
The B52 Victory Museum not only displays artillery and the wrecks of B-52s by SAM systems kept on location, it also details the history of the Indochina War, the Vietnam War, and Operations Rolling Thunder and Linebacker. The halls were also full of equipment and weapons used by infantry and aircrew on both sides.
Not 47, but it's an AK. How cool is that? That's an actual B-52 ejector seat. You know what I think is absolutely wonderful about this museum? It's completely free. There's not a single soul in here but me. And it's really informative and interesting actually, all about kind of like how the Vietnamese gained their independence from the Japanese after World War II, and then again it goes on to kind of like the American War as they call it, the Vietnam War to us. It's really cool.
Little did I know, the guard didn't know I was in the building. So this happened.
I thought I heard someone walking around upstairs. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was another guest. And then I come out and like all the doors to the section of upstairs where I am are now locked. I managed to find like an escape hole in the back of the exhibit, went through a few back doors and came out the other side, only to get to another door that's locked. I've been yelling for like 5 minutes and no one's come to help, so yeah, this vlog may never get uploaded. You may never see this, I might die. I'm exaggerating, but I might be stuck here for a while, because I just broke down a door to get out of there. Okay, we're not out of this one yet, I'm still locked in, so I'm gonna have to climb through this window. Okay, analysis. Incredibly great museum, terrible, terrible security. I managed to get out. I busted down a door, ran around the building a few times to find a window that was low enough and climbed through it, but Jesus Christ, I was really panicking.
After all that excitement, I decided to cool off with a cold drink before heading back to the hostel via the Lenin Monument.
Vladimir Lenin meets skateboarding. If that's not radical communism, I'm not interested in what the real thing is.
Right, before we kick off day 2's activities, it's time for a quick run.
Good morning, Vietnam!
After a solid run in the morning, I'm headed over to the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum.
So yeah, that's the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum behind me. So Ho Chi Minh, if you didn't know, was the revolutionary leader of northern Vietnam and then current unified Vietnam. He's kind of like the mastermind behind communism. He has a real kind of cult of personality here. I mean, look at the size of that mausoleum, it tells you enough. It's the same thing in Thailand with money. Like, don't step on money even if it's flying away because it's got the king's face on it. Ho Chi Minh is on every single note here. It looks pretty spectacular, I think it's cool. I'm probably gonna head over towards the Temple of Literature now. So the big kind of pagoda archway you can see just over there behind me is kind of like the symbol of Hanoi.
The temple was built by the emperor in the year 1070 CE in honour of Confucius. The temple complex itself plays host to the Imperial Academy, Vietnam's first national university.
So basically all of the stuff here at the Temple of Literature is aimed at worshipping Confucius and his kind of teachings and scholarship and so on. So it's kind of like a temple to education and, you know, wisdom, which is kind of interesting as opposed to just like blind religion.
After an interesting visit to the temple, I decided to head downtown to check out another site.
I'm gonna go check out the Hoalo, I think I'm saying that right. It's the prison camp where they kept all the Americans during the Vietnam War.
Hoalo literally translates as fiery furnace or hell's hole. The prison was first built and used by the French for political prisoners pushing for independence. These prisoners would often be subjected to torture and execution. By 1913, the prison was designed to hold around 600 prisoners, but by the 50s, it often held up to 2,000 people. During the Vietnam War, POWs called this place the Hanoi Hilton in a class act of sarcasm. Regardless of Vietnam's commitment to the Geneva Convention, POWs were subjected to torture on a regular basis. Many well-known POWs were held here, including Senator John McCain.
So I'm in like the death row of the prison now. You wouldn't want to be living in here, trust me. It's like something out of a war movie. Well, I guess it is. So the walls in here are like full of bullet holes from like, I guess, fighting. It's incredible. Like, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole. Whether revolutionary soldier or American soldier, it'd be an absolute hell to live in this place. If any of you ever played Black Ops 1 that came out in 2010, the Call of Duty map called Hanoi, this prison. And actually, if you look at the old scale map, it's detailed, it was accurate. So yeah, I kind of want to play that game now.
You want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
I spent most of my nights grabbing the best food I could in the city.
Huge, huge noodle soup.
And when I wasn't eating, I was checking out the local scene.
thing I expected to see here. I love Vietnam, I really do. So basically my theory on Hanoi is it's like the tablet of Akhman Ra from Night at the Museum. Everything in this museum comes to life at night.
My time in Hanoi is coming to an end, so it was time to grab a motorbike for the rest of the trip.
Okay, so I just got back from Style Motorbikes. The guys in there are brilliant, like really cheap pricing, really professional. They've got an entire fleet of like basically out of the workshop bikes that work perfectly. I got myself a Detect Win 125cc. It goes like a bat. It's really cool. Yeah, the bike is riding amazingly, really fuel efficient. It goes like a bat when you want it to, and it cruises pretty easily too. And it's only going to get better from here.
According to Google, it was just going to take me 3.5 hours to travel the 142 kilometers across rural Vietnam to get to Mai Chau. I'm no slow rider and I rarely pull over, but the journey took around 5 hours, which if you're not used to riding a motorbike can be pretty punishing on the arse. That being said, the ride was super beautiful and I was really excited to get there.
Good evening everybody, so I made it to Mai Chau and checked into my hostel, showered. I feel so much cleaner. I got sunburnt to shit earlier, but I'm here in the rice fields. It's absolutely breathtaking here, but so far it's been pretty cool just kind of staying in the field. I just got the drone up just here. Let's have a look and see what that looks like, shall we? I think I'm probably just going to head back to the hostel now, just get some beers in, met some cool people just chilling out there. The hostel's like a homestay style one, but it is a hostel nonetheless, so lots of backpackers. It's going to be a hell of a long day tomorrow, a long ride, but it's going to be a real adventure.
Before I leave, here's some info on the town. Mai Chau is traditionally agricultural, and the people who live here are white Thais, an ethnic group closely related to Thai and Lao people. Due to increasing tourism in the area, the once authentic experience that was offered here feels pretty rehearsed, and a lot of locals can actually speak English now. This is great if you're a casual backpacker, but if you're looking for something off the tourist trail that presents a real challenge, this probably isn't it.
Welcome back guys, we're in day 2 of riding now, and I just want to show you the special modifications I've made to the bike. So what I've done here is, rather than just using my phone and watching it get to 6% when I turned up yesterday, I've used my bungee cords to make a power bank so that I can keep charged and I'm good to go.
The next morning I hit the road again, headed from Mai Chau to Ninh Binh, taking a scenic route covering 184 k's instead of a less scenic Google suggested 124k route.
It's so beautiful here. In some ways this is the most authentic kind of like experience I've had in Vietnam last year and this year, just because I'm by myself, I'm on the bike, I got enough petrol, don't worry. I'm just kind of riding through the absolute middle of nowhere, no one comes here. People are like, oh my god, white person! I've found a road that might rival my favourite ever driving road I've ever been on in a motorbike in Vietnam. My favourite previously was Da Lat's mountain pass down to Nha Trang. That's an incredible ride, I'd highly recommend it.
If you want the route info for this road, or the Da Lat to Nha Trang road, I'll link it down below. The final stretch into Ninh Binh itself was overwhelmingly beautiful and unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
First impressions, only just arrived. Most beautiful place I've ever seen in Southeast Asia. Definitely the best place I've ever seen in the country for just kind of like landscape beauty.
That night I met up with Arianne and Luke, who told me all about Cuc Phuong National Park. It sounded awesome, so we decided to head there together the next day.
So we've just driven inside the national park for like 20 minutes. We're gonna go check out a cave of prehistoric man, and apparently it dates back 7,500 years, so this should be pretty cool.
The caves in the park have seen human habitation dated back as 5,000 to 10,000 BCE. This can be identified through countless discoveries of human graves, stone axes, bone spears, and grinding tools.
Okay, update. We keep finding cave upon cave, but there's no clear way back out to the entrance so far.
Oh my god, are those bats? It's a bat cave! Where is she?
So we just saw some wild bats and that was incredible. I'm basically Batman now, or at least better than Ben Affleck. What the hell was that? So we managed to find the window of the cave here, and I think it leads all the way back down to the door, so we're going to try and trek down the outside of this cliff now. So what could have been a dead short visit turned into like a filthy hour-long excursion around the cave, and then we just climbed down the cliff here through the jungle to get back to the entrance, because why not? Probably going to head back to the bikes now, ride into the park a little bit deeper and see what else we can find.
The park itself is home to not only bats, but a wide variety of flora and fauna, including gibbons, macaques, porcupine, jungle cats, turtles, snakes, and hundreds of bird species. Tigers, elephants, rhinos, and moon bears were all found here in the not-so-distant past, but unfortunately, due to overhunting and a lack of prey, they can no longer be found here. There are numerous conservation centres in the park, and it's one of the most popular tourist destinations for Vietnamese people exploring in their own country. It was such a beautiful day out, and I'd highly recommend it if you're in the Ninh Binh area.
Okay, welcome back guys. So yesterday at the national park was awesome. We're just gonna hop on the bikes and head around some of the sites around Ninh Binh today.
The first stop was Giao Am Dien, and we couldn't find the real entrance, so we resorted to scaling the castle wall. There wasn't much to learn here because all the info I could find was in poorly translated Vietnamese to English, but the place itself was absolutely stunning.
Look at that, that's incredible. So we had to climb down that thing there because basically the entrance on Maps.me technically wasn't the entrance, and there was you actually had to pay to get in there, which I didn't know. But the only place it showed on the map was this random lane that we've come along, and these castle walls here. Now I think it's off to Hoalo, or Hoalo ancient capital. So yeah, let's check that out.
Hoalo was the ancient capital of Vietnam in 10th and 11th century. Unfortunately, unless you majored in Vietnamese history, there wasn't much to see here unless you were prepared for a very long guided tour. That's not really my style, so we decided to climb the mountain at the centre of Hoalo.
We did it, we summited. There's the flag flying above me. It's really hot. Really, really hot up here. I think it's time to head down the mountain now.
I spent the better part of the day exploring around the area on the bike with Arianne and Luke, getting the drone up and just having the best time. That evening, Arianne and Luke set out for Hanoi, and as we said our goodbyes, I decided to try and capture the sunset over the river at Trang An. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to take out a boat tour, so I sent the drone out instead.
got the drone up. I think I got some awesome footage on that. You would have seen that already, so hopefully you liked it. Real quick, jumping back on the bike, gonna try and head to Mua Peak and Mua Cave right before the sun sets. It's coming down hella fast, so I'm gonna jump on the bike right now.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've been defeated by the sunset. Maps.me put 2 locations for Mua Peak, and one of them was the complete wrong place. But I'm in an alright looking location, so I'm just gonna give the drone a quick whiz around. So a couple of successful drone flights around here, just kind of chilling out, enjoying myself. I'm going to strap it all back up now, head back to the hostel, just probably have a chill night tonight. I'm going to get up super early tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more caves, a little bit more motorbiking, the best drone flight ever, I'm hoping. And yeah, we're going to call it a day there. See you tomorrow. Time to go. Good morning and welcome back, everybody. As you just saw, I made it all the way up to the top of Mua Peak, climbed the ridiculous amount of stairs, which is why I'm filthy and covered in sweat yet again. It's already gone 9 and I haven't eaten anything today, and I've got to get to Cat Bar by 4, and it's like a 5 to 6 hour ride, so I'm cutting it pretty close as it is.
6 hours later.
Okay guys, let me catch you up. It's now 3:06. I'm on the bike and car ferry now. Yeah, looking forward to getting to Cat Bar Island.
1 hour later.
So the first ferry only took me to Cat High, not Cat Bar, so I had to get a second ferry, which is much smaller, which is why I'm just kind of sat on the bike in the middle of the bay there. Hopefully we'll get there soon. So if you couldn't tell from that drone flight, Cat Bar has amazing driving roads. That was so much fun. Gonna strap up the bike again now, finally head to Woodstock, I think is the name of the hostel I'm staying at. It's meant to be super chill, which It's what I fancy. I just want a couple beers and lie on the beach, to be completely honest. But first, I need to get there and shower, because I am filthy. Right, let's get back on the bike.
The day's ride had really taken it out of me, so I crashed, figuratively mind you, as soon as I got to the Woodstock hostel.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Cat Bar Island in the daytime. It's absolutely stunning.
The weather didn't stay stunning though, as a storm came in and left me trapped on the beach for a day. The next day the rains died down and I decided to get out and explore the island. I'm going to jump on the bike. It's time to actually explore Cat Bar. Let's do it.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
So I'm just headed to the old cannon fort on the top of Cat Bar Island above Cat Bar City. I'm so glad I'm staying in the Woodstock hostel and like way further away from town. Kind of reminds me it's just kind of like a boring English beach town, to be completely honest. So I'm glad I'm not staying there. But yeah, we're going to hit up the cannon fort observatories and like old artillery sites that I guess they used against the Americans, used against the French, against the Japanese and so on. So yeah, should be a cool little spot. Let's check it out.
The fort itself is a collection of trenches, tunnels, artillery stations and helipads built in 1942 as an attempt to keep the Japanese at bay. They also used it as a hideout for NVA leaders during the Vietnam War.
So pretty much just finished up here at the cannon fort. It was pretty decent and I think I'm going to drive towards the national park now and then that should be awesome.
The roads through the national park around Cat Bar were some of my favourite yet. The scenery here looks like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster, and I'm pretty confident Cat Bar and Ninh Binh were used for the set of Kong Skull Island. I haven't actually seen that movie, but I can only imagine it looks brilliant. The next day, I headed for the peak of Cat Bar National Park. Unbeknownst to me, I managed to damage the drone's gimbal and internal cabling, so this is what it looks like now.
Just gave the drone the flight of a lifetime. Got some cool snaps on the cannon just here. Something out of a movie, literally.
2 hours later.
The drone is absolutely horrible, staticky zebra lines all over the image.
But I wasn't going to let a technical failure ruin my trip, so the next morning I head out for an epic day tour on Halong Bay, which is something I've been dreaming about doing since I first watched that epic Top Gear special when I was a teenager.
It's not a big motorcycle, just a groovy little motorbike. It's more fun than a barrel of monkeys that two-wheel bike.
It's not a big motorcycle, just a groovy little motorbike. It's more fun than a barrel of monkeys that two-wheel bike.
Just that bit of rope there, look, that black rope is long enough.
Swim.
No.
Sadly I didn't turn my motorbike into an amphibious vehicle, but it should be incredible regardless.
So we're here in beautiful Halong Bay for a day tour. It's absolutely stunning so far.
The name Halong in Vietnamese translates as descending dragon. It's made up of almost 2,000 limestone islets formed over 500 million years. If you're a fan of geology, you'll have a field day here, as the bay's creation can be accurately traced back to
The Cambrian explosion.
But if you don't care about any of that, it's very pretty and very, very old.
After an awesome boat ride, me and Bob here are gonna kayak through Halong Bay for a bit. So we've made it all the way out here into the beautiful, like, hidden bay areas of Halong Bay. It's absolutely stunning here. Like, when people say that Halong Bay is underrated, like, I completely agree with them. It's awesome here, really, really awesome. So after some awesome kayaking and an awesome lunch, we're here on Halong Bay, and we're gonna head to an island full of monkeys, apparently. Hopefully the drone flights over the kayaks and around Halong Bay don't look completely terrible, but as I said, the camera's broken, so I'm doing what I can with it.
Before we get to Monkey Island, it's time for an epic swim stop.
So after an awesome swimming stop, we've finally made it to Monkey Beach or Monkey Island. There's a few knocking about, but they're the usual ones that like stealing things out of tourists' hands and all that sort of stuff.
Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man cub.
So Monkey Island is absolutely stunning, really, really beautiful island. There's not many monkeys on it, but it's a really cool spot to chill for an hour.
We finished up the tour by cruising through one of the many floating villages in the bay. The Halong people have been living here for around 6,000 years, and many of them still choose never to step foot on dry land, spending their whole lives floating. It was such a great way to end the day, and effectively the last activity on this epic trip across northern Vietnam.
Okay, so after a absolutely incredible day out in Halong Bay, it exceeded expectation. The weather even turned around. It went from dreary and grey like it has been here for like the last 3 days into like beautiful sunshine. As you can probably tell by my skin colour, I got absolutely cooked because I completely forgot about sun cream, I keep doing that. It's really stupid. Wear sunblock. Absolutely incredible day.
12 o'clock midnight.
That night we were blessed with the most incredible sight, phosphorescent plankton. I'll replay that in slow-mo because it's pretty hard to pick up on camera.
Tomorrow for sure.
After a ridiculously lit night on the beach, just really getting messy with some of the guys I met on the boat yesterday, but it was an awesome time. I'm here on the ferry going to Cat Hai, then across to Hai Phong again. So I'm going to ride back into Hanoi, spend one more night there, and then it's goodbye Vietnam and hello to Bangkok.
Eventually.
Get into Hanoi safely. Just giving the bike back. Thanks, bike. Goodbye.
So that brings to conclusion my epic 2-week journey across northern Vietnam. It was one of my best and most beautiful trips I've ever done, and I'm so glad I got to film it and share it with you guys. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much, I honestly appreciate it. There are so many other people on YouTube you could be watching rather than me, so I really appreciate your time. If you did like the video guys, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, let me know what you didn't like in the comments down below, maybe it's something I can work on in a future film. When I filmed this, my intention was to turn it into 3 vlogs, which are already on this YouTube channel, but I didn't like the way that they came out, so I've decided to go for a more TV approach in this video. Hopefully this is yards better than anything I've ever done before, so if you liked it, do tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, and it's all stuff I take on board. I read every single one of your comments and I appreciate it so much. If you did like the video and you want to know about more travel adventures from here, do subscribe, hit that bell button and you'll know when I've got new videos going online. By the time you see this video, I should be in Central Europe creating even better travel films with my brand new Lumix GH5. Everything's going to be in absolutely stellar quality. Hopefully it should be just so much more watchable for you guys because I'll be shooting it with the intention to keep it like this style rather than just simple vlogs. I will still be vlogging, but it will be in very set format where either I am vlogging or I'm creating a travel film. I'm not going to try and cross the boundaries over too much or it will get much too complicated. Again, thank you so much for tuning in guys. Enjoy the last 60 seconds of this piece. Thank you.